This is not an Elden Ring video. If you're from the Elden Ring community, hi. If you could stand over there and put this apple on your head, I would appreciate it. And if you're from my community, I found the perfect example of TI versus TE in Elden Ring. I got the idea from a lore video I will link in the description. He makes good stuff. Now, to lay the most rudimentary groundwork. In the world of Elden Ring, the Elden Ring is a set of principles by which the world operates. Think of it like a mystical version of the laws of physics expanded out to cover everything and can be adjusted. And there exists a group in the world called the Golden Order. This Golden Order exists to uphold the order of the Elden Ring. Now, you might think it's odd there exists an order to uphold the laws of physics. We don't have an order to uphold the laws of physics in our world because they're laws. They either hold or they don't. There's no defending or attacking them. But to understand what I'm talking about, that point is key. There came about another group called Those Who Live in Death. Now, according to the Golden Order, which studies the Elden Ring, but not according to the Elden Ring itself, those who live in death are not supposed to exist. According to the Golden Order's understanding of the Elden Ring, you either die and are buried in catacombs and are reabsorbed into the Erd Tree, or you live eternally. Those who live in death do neither. They are not eternally living because they died, but they aren't dead because in death they are still living. And there is a wormy nest of reasons for that, but in essence, those who live in death are, Smotown used a perfect word for them, a glitch. According to Golden Order, again, not Elden Ring, Golden Order fundamentalism, those who live in death are not supposed to exist. The fact they exist is a stain on the Golden Order's understanding of the natural principles of the world. In other words, those who live in death are proof the Golden Order is incorrect. And different people have different ideas about what that means or what to do about it, but there are two primary strains of thought. The first one perfectly embodies extroverted thinking. The hunters. People who find and purge Deathroot and eliminate those who live in death for good, or try to. They seem not to view the Elden Ring as laws of physics, or as laws of nature. They, and most of the Golden Order, view the Golden Order's interpretation of the Elden Ring as dictates, not as laws. Therefore, those who live in death must be destroyed because they are violating the laws of nature. They are violating the laws of what is allowed to occur. They see non-Euclidean geometry and say, we need to break that. That shouldn't exist. There is, however, a different interpretation of those who live in death, more in line with TI. That is Gold Mask. Gold Mask is a Golden Order fundamentalist, perhaps the staunchest Golden Order fundamentalist. However, where hunters see those who live in death and think, this cannot happen, not shouldn't happen, cannot happen, and needs to be destroyed, Gold Mask thinks this is happening, so it must be able to happen. Therefore, the Golden Order and its interpretation of the Elden Ring must adjust to reality, because if this is happening, then it can happen, and if our understanding says it cannot happen, then our understanding is wrong. and our understanding needs to be adjusted. TE is inclined to take a cherished interpretation of nature as fact while ignoring actual contradictory nature. TE imposes on nature according to a cherished interpretation of nature. TI is inclined to take what it sees from nature and build a tentative, temporary interpretation. I say inclined because TE types don't always chain their necks to cherished interpretations. They just usually do. And TI types don't always see the facts for the facts. It's always terrific watching a TI type melt down when their math isn't checking out, but they aren't ready emotionally to give up on the equation they've built. Now, the other reason I find the Elden Ring example so useful in examining TE versus TI is both parties are Golden Order fundamentalists, or claim to be. The Hunters are fundamentalists in the sense they are staunchly in favor of the order of their order. They view fundamentalism, that word, as guarding their organization and its ideas. People like those who live in death, who violate those ideas, or people like Goldmask, who questions those ideas, are blasphemers. They need to be destroyed or banished. Goldmask is a fundamentalist. His understanding of fundamentalism, Golden Order fundamentalism, follows that the Elden Ring does not make mistakes. So if something isn't lining up in the math, it's user error. No thoughts. Head empty. And anyone who would refuse to adjust to reality, to the unmistaken, the unglitched, perfect order the Elden Ring set out, would be the blasphemers. His fundamentalism is studying nature closer. That's what the Golden Order is supposed to be doing in the first place. TE imposes an interpretation separated from reality. TI forms an interpretation that is subject to change by observing reality. Again, not always in either case, but those are those functions' propensities. They're both fundamentalists, but what is fundamental to them is very different. I also want to make another point about TI while we're here. Difficult to explain, but TI is not one ultimate answer. TI is one ultimate answer in understanding there are infinite, smaller, and often contradicting ultimate answers. There probably is one supreme answer, but discerning it through all the smaller answers is nigh impossible. So the best you can do in pursuit of that incalculable truth is gather as many smaller truths as you can. They'll grind against each other, they won't fit, even when by your math they should, but that's how you know you are learning anything valuable. And in an arrogant way, Goldmask is funny too. He accumulated followers and then gave up trying to explain anything to them because they wouldn't get it, and then they all left. But that about rippity wraps this one up. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I certainly enjoyed making it. Like if you enjoyed, because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, because we do this shit sometimes. And comment your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. What do you think about TI versus TE, or Elden Ring, or any of that? Thanks again for watching, everybody. Really, we have a lot of fun on this channel. So much fun, in fact, you can throw it against a tree until it shatters into a million pieces, because that's how much fun we have on this channel. But that's how much fun we have on this channel. And I look forward to doing this with you guys again in the future.